I done a video about this individual here last year. If you don't know who this woman is, she goes by the name of Tiffany Henyard. She is the mayor of a city in Illinois called Dolton, and she has dubbed herself as super mayor. And she's also the supervisor out there as well. Now, she takes home well over 300K in annual salary, and yet she has managed to take the town from a surplus to a deficit of over like $5.5 million. Now she's currently under a federal investigation, um, and she's been spending the town's money like it was going out of style. And there's been drama at these meetings that she's been involved in. It's gotten so bad that the board of trustees has stripped her of much of her power as mayor, to the point that she's changed the locks on some of her board of trustee members. And now you had the board of trustees call in the former Chicago mayor, Lori Lightfoot, to come in and investigate where all this money's going. And I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to let Beetlejuice herself tell you what she's been spending this money on. I mean, she's just spending this government money like it was going out of style. She acts like that taxpayer money is her money. Just unacceptable behavior by this so-called super mayor. Fair use. DJ, spend that shit.
Big bills with little accountability. That's the headline out of South Suburban Dolton tonight, where an investigation into Mayor Tiffany Henyard's administrations revealed more examples of taxpayer money used for questionable purposes. Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is the one who led the probe.
Investigative reporter Ben Bradley has been shining a light on Henyard's spending and leadership for a year now. Ben?
Dina and Ray, our investigations have documented well over $100,000 in first-class travel, meals, even donations to Henyard's questionable cancer charity. But that money came from Thornton Township, where Henyard is the supervisor. She's also the mayor of Dolton, where her allies have violated state transparency laws by refusing for nearly a year to give us records showing how she spent money there. Henyard has dismissed her critics as liars and opportunists.
Seems to me the only liar and opportunist is Tiffany Henyard herself. This so-called super mayor. I hope when the feds get done with her, they hit her with a little piece of kryptonite. Because this is disgusting. That the way this woman has carried on as the mayor is unacceptable. You got a security team with one guy right then like $13,000 in 2 weeks. How can somebody work $300 in 2 weeks? That's impossible. Paying for SUVs behind the back of the board of trustees and all that. $149,000 a pop for some Tahoes. And then she had 6 of them. But 5 or 6 of these Tahoes she had at damn near $150,000 a pop. I mean, she's just spending the town's money like it's going out of style. And there ain't nothing going back to the taxpayer. Then she ran a sham of a nonprofit for cancer called Tiffany Cares, right? Ran that sham of a nonprofit for cancer research or whatever like that. Then go lie on Roland Martin's show. And I can't believe that big bulbous jowl mouth having ass go sit up there and let that woman lie and gaslight the viewer like that. Now, for a dude who prides himself on journalistic integrity, he sure as hell didn't practice any journalistic integrity there. What's up, Lemon Pepper Lou? I hope all is well with you in your journey, man. Keep up the fight. So salute the Lemon Pepper Lou in the building. What's up, your suit Knight? Yeah, man, this woman hit crazy. So let's see what Beetlejuice had to say.
If you hear this is fake news, it's not real, no. This is real.
Chicago's former mayor hired to investigate a current South suburban politician surrounded by scandal.
I know how I felt when I started seeing these numbers. So I can imagine how all of you are feeling after all this time being in the dark.
Trustees hired Lori Lightfoot after months of chaotic meetings in which they accused Tiffany Henyard of recklessly spending tax dollars on herself and her cronies. The investigation found this small South suburb went from a surplus 2 years ago to a nearly $5.5 million deficit today. Lightfoot told a packed crowd that she's only been able to review some, but not all, credit card spending.
We want to highlight a couple of credit card purchases. You're having the same reaction that we did when we saw it.
Lightfoot questioned 3 Amazon purchases in a single day, totaling more than $43,000, an unexplained Wayfair purchase of $7,699, PayPal money transfers, and gift cards, all charged to the village.
I am in the White House.
Lightfoot also noted Henyard's well-documented taste for travel, paid for by both the village and the township. WGN Investigates uncovered $67,000 in unexplained travel in just 4 months by Henyard and her allies, some of it first class, and included a more than $9,000 stay at a Four Seasons. Henyard's former chief of staff in Dolton told us last January the mayor spent taxpayer money freely.
Over-the-top meals, lobster, crab legs. She liked the good stuff.
And when you were with her at these meals, was government business discussed?
No.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor.
Henyard frequently shouts down her critics, claiming she's the leader.
I ran to lead, and you guys keep wanting to tell me what to do. We're not doing it.
But as we found last year, she quickly clams up when questions turn toward her spending.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
What do we want? Faced with outraged residents, a mutiny on the village board, and an ongoing federal investigation, these days the self-proclaimed super mayor is letting a criminal defense attorney do most of her talking.
He's your top aide in both Thornton Township and Dolton. Why are you trying to fire him?
He just cited the rules, so that's why I'm letting you talk to the lawyer.
Lightfoot's investigation found the village now has a bill backlog totaling nearly $6 million. Layoffs have begun, and one of the trustees who hired Lightfoot to investigate is now running to replace Tiffany Henyard as mayor. But the election is not until next year.
We've been hearing the shock and the anger from the residents in Dolton at the various village meetings. What happens now for town going forward?
Well, that federal investigation is still looming large. Tiffany Henyard is still in power, though trustees have blocked her at every step of the way. Now there's literally a debate over access to Village Hall. We're told the locks have been changed on Village Hall 3 times in the last couple of days.
Wow, the drama.
Appreciate that, Ben. Big bill.
Also tonight, more drama in Dolton. Credit card transactions amounting to thousands of dollars without explanation and millions more owed to vendors.
A bombshell report highlights just how much financial trouble the village of Dolton is really in. Our Casey Cronus is live tonight with details. Casey.
Don and Scott, community members' jaws dropped during tonight's presentation. The report was put together by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who was hired by village trustees in April as an independent investigator. They sought her out to get to the bottom of Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's alleged misuse of village funds. Of the revelations made tonight, we are learning that as of May 31st of this year, the village's general fund, which is used to pay the majority of village expenses, is $3.65 million in deficit. Across the village's 6 credit cards that Lightfoot has been made aware of, receipts for purchases are, quote, rarely provided.
Now look at that. Look at that right there. Just on January the 5th of 2023, this woman has spent damn near $43,000 on Amazon. What the fuck are you spending 43 grand on Amazon for? What is there on Amazon that you're spending 43 grand on one day? I think throughout, because I started Amazon in 2007. Between the Amazon Prime memberships and the stuff that I've bought in the 17 years I've had Amazon, I don't even think I spent $43,000 in the 17 years I had Amazon. And I bought a lot of stuff on Amazon. Between movies, music, essential items, some polo shirts. I don't even think I spent $43,000 in the 17 years I had Amazon. This woman spent $43,000 in one day. Boy, that right there, Lord need to get her ass put in prison. Oh my Lord, have mercy. But wait, there's more.
Unquote. In just one day, 3 transactions were made on Amazon. One for $33,000, another for $4,700, and a third for $5,600. Another significant purchase that stands out: nearly $7,700 spent at Wayfair, and that is only scratching the surface. Community members.
You spent $7 grand on Wayfair? You spent over $7,000 on Wayfair? What in the hell are you buying, woman? Oh man, this bitch is out here spending this money like it's going out of style. She's out there thinking that's her money. Whatever. I do what I want.
Were shocked to learn that at least 589 checks amounting to over $6 million were approved and printed but never sent to vendors. Henyard, a no-show for tonight's highly anticipated meeting, and attorneys for village trustees say she has changed the locks at Village Hall once again.
$40,000 at Amazon. What a slap in the face to everybody that reside in 60419 zip code.
Yeah, and she slapped you in the face with that dildo, that same dildo that glow in the dark, that she bought on Amazon. Free 2-day shipping though. That's right. No telling what the hell else she bought on Amazon. What? Man, I'm getting a headache right now just listening to this story. This is crazy. This woman right now should be arrested. But the feds are still hawking her down, investigating this woman. I'm like, you've got everything you need. What in the hell is taking the feds so long to bring this woman in? And don't think that the residents didn't try to recall this woman, because they did. They tried to recall her last year. She went to court, fought the recall, beat the recall. That's how she's still in power right now. So it's not like the residents didn't try to recall her and hold an election to get somebody else in there. Nah. She went to court, fought the recall in court, beat the recall in court to where even if they held the election, she was going to still be in power anyway. So the best chance to get her out is if the feds kick down the door, waving no 4-4 at 4 in the morning while she's sleeping with her extensions and her cucumbers in between her eyes or whatever, or next year when she's up for re-election.
I know how I felt when I started seeing these numbers. So I can imagine how all of you are feeling after all this time being in the dark. There are a number of other things we know, but we aren't ready yet. We got to verify in 20 ways from Sunday.
Here is proof for everyone to see, and even the ones who doubt us. If you don't see through this, there's nothing I can say to you. February of 2025, clean house. Clean house.
Also of note, the police department's expenditures have increased $1.6 million since fiscal year 2022. Since that time, former Deputy Chief Louis Lacey has taken home roughly $215,000 in overtime when he wasn't eligible for it. Two other officers, Lightfoot says, made more in overtime than their base salaries. The details of tonight's report leaving community members infuriated.
Now, how in the hell you got cops out here making more in overtime than they do for their base pay? I wouldn't be surprised if Tiffany Henyard was taking 3 in the mouth, and I'm just speculating here, but I wouldn't be surprised if motherfuckers was taking turns banging that thing out. Because how do these police deputies make more money in overtime than they do their base salary? And then the thing about it is, they weren't even authorized that overtime. So aside from this woman out here being a goddamn big spender on taxpayer dollars, something else strange is going on for a piece of change, if you catch my drift. But that ain't come out yet. That shoe hadn't dropped yet. And I would be surprised if someone was pulling out her goddamn weave or her tracks or whatever else she got stuck on the top of her head, because that blonde head she got ain't real. I know that shit ain't real. I know she skinned the back of a horse and dyed that motherfucker brown.
My reaction was, I am devastated. I am devastated that this woman came in to our town and spent all of our tax money. We have senior citizens that can't even afford basic necessities.
I suspected it all along. Tiffany needs to be locked up. She needs to be made an example out of, that she cannot go around using our money and spending it however she wants to spend it, like the job come with a cash register.
And we are told this is just the tip of the iceberg. More reports are expected.
The tip of the iceberg ain't the only thing. I'm telling you, she took the tip of a dick too. I'm trying to tell you. I wouldn't be surprised if a sex scandal came out of this thing too. You have to believe that of all this overtime that these deputies are getting, I'm pretty sure one of those guys was married. And he's out here doing all this overtime. And if that's the case, this would be similar to the mayor down in Louisiana, the New Orleans mayor. I can't. Her last name is Cantrell. Yeah, because you know that New Orleans mayor Cantrell, she's been getting involved in a steamy relationship with one of her deputies or whatever like that, the head of security. So you basically had the mayor giving his head security had, amongst other things. But that's another story for another day. Let's get back to that.
Expected to come as Lightfoot and her team continue to investigate and look into more alleged misuse of funds, including 2 separate trips to Las Vegas. Henyard did not return our request for comment tonight. Reporting live in Dolton, Casey Cronis, Fox 32.
Oh, Tiffany, what the hell are you doing down in Vegas? You was at the Bellagio with the red dice, you shaking it and kissing it, huh? And you out there eating that $265 Wagyu steak that's hanging off a goddamn piece of wood in it. What you doing in Vegas? Huh? Were you at the Aria? Were you at the Bellagio? Were you at the Four Seasons? What the fuck were you doing in Vegas? Spending over 67 grand on trips alone? Not only spending that kind of money on trips, but you out here getting 4 and 5 star hotels, eating lobster, crab legs, all that type of shit. Meanwhile, you got a 70-year-old lady on life support. She can't afford to get her medication or whatever like that. And you're all over the town riding it up, taking selfies with goddamn on Biden and shit. Going on in these expensive, lavish trips on the taxpayer dollar. And you just run around here thinking you're untouchable, don't you? You think you Teflon Tiffany, ain't it? And then what really pisses me off, you're doing this to your fellow black contemporaries. And you got the nerve to sit up here and talk about, I'm a black woman, I'm a single black woman, and we gotta stick together. All the meanwhile, you putting the fuck to the same residents who's responsible for putting you in the position you're in. And then when they're showing their disgust towards your unacceptable behavior, you got nerve to clap back and talk down on the very same people who's responsible for putting you in power. You are disgusting. If you ever want a piece of evidence of why you don't vote for somebody just because they're black, well, here's a Webster's dictionary and example right here. If you ever want an example of why you don't vote for somebody just because they're black, look no further than this individual right here. She is the prime example of when you give somebody a rope, they're going to be a cowboy, or in this case, a cowgirl. And they had to call in Beetlejuice to come in and save the day. Somebody was in their bedroom at 10 o'clock at night saying, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And out comes Lori Lightfoot to come in and lead this investigation because you are here big spending. You are here ballerific like it's all terrific. See, it's people like you, Tiffany Henyard, that give the black community a bad name. Because see, when we are here pushing for tangibles, and we are here pushing to be taking white supremacy to task, well, all they go to do is point to somebody like you, and it blows up in our faces or whatever like that. Because you took this as a springboard for your own self-serving agenda. Whatever, I do what I want. these hood rat black chicks out here who's out here, spending money on fake nails, fake hair, BBLs, fake tits, fake teeth, all that shit. $43,000 on Amazon purchases in one day. What in the hell are you buying $43,000 worth of Amazon purchases for? What the hell did you buy on there? Did you buy a car? Did you buy a lifetime supply of cigars? Did you buy a lifetime supply of extensions? Mascara? Some diamond rings? What did you buy $43,000 worth of Amazon purchases for? That gross misconduct alone should get you put in prison. Forget the other misappropriation of funds or whatever like that. I'm bugging out about the 43 grand that you bought. Or one, did the Amazon have like some kind of shopping spree? Did you win some kind of prize to where if you were to spend like over $40,000 in Amazon purchases in one day, that you would have a lifetime membership to Amazon? Just disgusting. Disgusting behavior right there by the so-called super mayor. Don't worry. One thing I know. May not be today, may not be tomorrow. But Tiffany Henyard, you're going to get fucked with that long dick of the law. That's right. That's unacceptable conduct by the so-called mayor. I mean, you putting the township and the board of trustees through hell. Like, I want y'all to see these meetings. Like, I'm gonna share my screen again. I'm gonna share my screen one more time, and I want y'all to see these meetings that be going down. These meetings are here. It's crazy. Hold on. God damn it. Let me do that. I want y'all to see this stuff. There is, I mean, I saw this meeting last night and I couldn't even believe it. And then, because of this woman's gross misspending, now they're going to have to get let go from their jobs and whatever like that. Now, this is the meeting from last night. Hold on.
$194,290 total, given the base salary and the overtime, and then
Now look at the overtime. Look at the overtime that they had. $87,000 in overtime for fiscal year 2023. $102,000 in 2024. That's just for one of the officers. This is Officer William Reed. So in the 2 years, just working overtime alone, he racked up damn near 200 grand. Officer Terry Young, he racked up over 200 grand in overtime alone. They made more in overtime than they did their regular pay. So that tells you right there that they've been going on these trips with her. What's up, Crawford Experience? They've been going on these trips with her when she was going all over the country, going to Atlanta, going to Chicago, going to Washington State, going to Vegas, going to New York. So not only they provide security when she's home, they're providing security for her when she's going out of town. And I have it on good faith that one of these dudes took her to Pound Town, if not both.
In FY 2024, that increased to $227,351, combining the base salary and the overtime. Officer Reed for FY 2023 had a total earnings of $145,450, and in FY 2024, $192,732. We thought it also important for you to know that Acting Chief Lacey has accumulated overtime. It's our understanding that he is not part of the collective bargaining unit and has not been for some time, which under normal circumstances would mean that he is not entitled to overtime. But as you can see here, for FY 22, FY 23, and FY 24, and we're now in fiscal year 2025, through those 4 years, he's accumulated $215,747,000 just in overtime.
Now listen to how pissed off that crowd is. And when I mean the crowd, I mean the residents. Listen to how pissed off they are right now where their taxpayer dollars is going. This woman out here just tricking off these people. It is so funny, but then again, it's not funny. This woman out here tricking off the township's taxpayer dollars. You can't make this stuff up, man. You just can't.
Now we're going to move, ladies and gentlemen, to unfunded expenditures. And this is really focused on, as we alluded to, we're going to move to unfunded expenditures. And this is really focused on checks that have been approved by the board from warrant lists that have come before the Board of Trustees, but held and not sent to the vendors. Based on the records that we have reviewed since March of 2023, the village has been unable to pay all of its monthly expenditures with available cash balance. Since that time, nearly every month, a portion of the checks approved and printed have been held by the village due to unavailability of funds. Per records from the John Kasperick firm, as of June 18, 2024, there are 589 checks totaling over $6 million that have been approved, printed, but not transmitted to vendors. And that is a big driver of the deficit in the general fund.
So my question is, where did the money go? So these checks were approved, 589 checks to the tune of $6 million that have been approved and already allocated, but the vendors didn't get the money. Then where did the money go? I think I have an idea.
This over $6 million in held checks, I want to caution, does not account for additional monies potentially owed by the village to vendors for which checks have not even been printed. These categories, which we are looking into, include, for example, invoices that have been received by village departments, but for one reason or other may not have been entered into the accounting system, which is called My Viewpoint. These invoices could have been entered into the accounting system, but not been approved by department heads or by the village administrator. And this could also include invoices that have not been approved by payment for the Board of Trustees. You're aware that from time to time, the warrant lists are presented. The trustees say, pay this, not pay that. Well, those checks that are on the warrant list roll over from time to time. And it probably makes sense just to explain really briefly. There is not a centralized repository for vendors to put their checks in electronically, or their invoices, I should say, so that it's automatically in the system. It has to be either hand delivered or sent via email. It goes to the appropriate department head. Then it's up to that department head to approve and enter those invoices into the MyPoint system. And it depends upon the dollar amount of the invoice, who has final approval for those invoices to make it onto the warrant list. But that's the way the process works now. And will not surprise you that one of the recommendations that we will have when we finish our work is that the village invest in an automated system so that nothing falls between the cracks. The vendor will be able to see real time, where is my invoice moving through the system, and you'll know where it sits, either with the department head or otherwise.
Tiffany Henyard needs to be gone, man. That is the bottom line. She needs to be gone. She has no business. She has no business being the mayor right now. So more of this stuff. Fair use.
Different kind of drama in Dolton tonight with the push to remove some village staff members because of ongoing legal troubles and dire financial problems.
NBC5's Regina Waldrop live in Dolton tonight, where it was another heated meeting.
That is true. And the meeting is just wrapping up right now. At one point, though, it was stopped. The mayor telling the police chief to remove a senior citizen for speaking out.
Okay, guys,
if you do not exit, then the meeting will be closed.
You got nothing to do with you. The meeting ain't about to be over, so
Mary
you cannot shut down the meeting.
Ma'am.
This was tonight's chaotic village board meeting in Dolton. No one arrested. The resident eventually leaving on her own. Also happening tonight in closed session, 8 village employees were laid off, including the public works supervisor and 3 code enforcement officers. The village also looking to fire Keith Freeman, the village administrator. The mayor says he's out, but trustees wanted to take a vote. Last month, Freeman was fired from Thornton Township, where he served as senior advisor to embattled Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who is also serving as township supervisor. Freeman's firing comes as Henyard is under federal scrutiny for lavish spending of village funds. She's also the focus of a number of lawsuits. Residents, as always, filled the room sounding off about the village's current situation. The board also approving changes to the credit card policy.
It would only allow for the Director of Administrative Services to use the credit card only on items that the board approves, and it puts a cap on any transaction of $5,000. There was consideration on completely cutting it off, but there are some bills that must be paid. Well, it's most convenient to be paid with a credit card.
So back in April, a majority of trustees voted to hire former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot as a special investigator to look into Tiffany Henyard's spending habits. Tonight, we're told her investigation is complete and Lightfoot will deliver a final report Thursday at 6:30 here in Dolton. I'm live tonight in Dolton. Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
All right, Regina, thank you.
This is a team effort. It's Team Dolton, not a one-man band. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, so what I truly believe, trustee, is that you in particular want to decrease the fines because you got tickets on your house for the high grass. Your bushes want cut, your grass want service, right? So you remind me of Trustee Valerie Stubbs that put in an ordinance because she didn't want to pay fines on her rental property. It's the same thing. You guys only pick and choose.
I mean, listen to how she's talking down on one of her board of trustee members, and you're going to see how she talks down on the residents to where one of the residents was forced to leave, and this is a black woman, look like she's in her 60s she's doing this to. Disgusting, bro. What's up, Carla?
things that's beneficial to you guys that affect you. But you were talking about this a month ago. You were talking, please, you're going to be removed. You're going to be removed. You cannot just talk.
Remove her.
You will be removed. And again, Valerie Stubbs, ex-trustee right there. She do things herself. So that's what I'm saying. You have to do better. You have to do better than what you're doing. Okay, you out of order. You need to remove her. Remove her. Remove her. Y'all cannot be that out of order. Like, come on now. Come on. Come on. Even if you don't like somebody, you can't be that out of order. You have to remove her. Please, please.
No, the only person out of order is you there, Tiffany Henyard. That's the only person who's out of order throughout this whole time. You can't be out here doing what you're doing, recklessly spending the town's money, doing this, that, and the third, and don't expect people to speak up. This is like a dictatorship you're putting on right now. It's like they're supposed to just keep on giving to you, and you're just supposed to just do whatever with it, however you want, whenever you want, with no consequences, repercussions. And nobody's supposed to check you on that. This is when you have a case of somebody having too much power, or they're letting the power go to their head. This woman is on a complete power trip. Let's look at more of this contentious meeting. Fair use.
Please leave. Please leave. Please leave. Please leave. Because you just too out of order. Please leave. You out of order. Goodbye. You are out of order. Goodbye. You are out of order. You out of order. Okay, goodbye. Valerie Stubbs, you need to exit. Valerie Stubbs, you need to exit. Valerie Stubbs, you need to exit. Come on. Come on. I don't know why y'all do this here in Dolton. Any other village, they remove people out. They go. You cannot be that disrespectful. You cannot. We will not take disrespect. Come on.
Okay.
Now she got nerve to sit up there and talk about people being disrespectful. All the meanwhile, she's disrespecting the residents of that town. And if you're so in the up and up, why do you have to have a criminal defense attorney? So let me get this straight. The town is in debt. People can't get what they have to get done. The board of trustees are basically having to go around you and take measures necessary to reel you in because you on this big old power trip. And when the residents are speaking out against your actions, you got the audacity to say that they're disrespecting you? Are you out of your fucking mind, woman?
Hey, if she does not exit, then the meeting will close. If you do not exit, then the meeting will be closed.
It got nothing to do with you. The meeting ain't about to be over. So
Mary
you
Vaughn.
cannot shut down the meeting.
Ma'am.
Trustee. Stop. 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 All right. Valerie Stubbs, you can go. We can continue. No, because y'all got disrespect and y'all think it's okay to continue. Did I call anybody? What she just called? What she just say? What she just say? That was out of order. That was out of order. So I didn't call her out her name. I did not.
But she will not. Miss Stubbs.
It's time to go. It's time to
keep going on with the meeting.
It's time to exit.
The meeting will be shut down.
The meeting is not
When we
going to
get
be shut down.
then people will be able to come back in. If you
All
do
she
not
have to do is
leave,
that
if she does
The
not
fact
leave,
that they keep
the
wanting to
meeting
shut
will
down
not
these
continue.
meetings.
all she got to do is that.
He does not have the authority to shut down the meeting.
Okay, goodbye. You can exit. You can exit.
Yeah.
Y'all know she's doing this on purpose. Don't be afraid.
I want you to have the meeting. No, we don't need the meeting. We don't need the meeting. That's why we don't. Have another meeting, Dan. We can have another meeting, Dan. Violate the rights of wherever may be.
So we left off that.
We on discussion still.
The five.
We on discussion still.
This young lady.
Right. No, I'm still in discussion. Yeah, that's still discussion. Yeah.
Right. So he said, so I got just made clear, but she said that you,
I'm not finished. No.
She said, you said nobody.
You said discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, could we please come to have a meeting so we have about 10 more items. Please.
Yeah.
All right, I think y'all get the idea, right? The residents are really pissed off at this woman. This woman here is on a clear power trip, and the only way they're going to get her out of there now, if she gets voted out, and that election don't go down for like another year or so. Oh boy. So to recap, this is a very contentious meeting between the residents of Dolton, Illinois, and the mayor, Tiffany Henyard. Tiffany Henyard is taking the taxpayer dollars and spending it like it's going out of style. To the point they had to call in the former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to investigate Tiffany Henyard and all her dealings when it comes to this money. Because when she took office, the town was in a surplus. Since she's been in office, the town is in like a debt by a multi-million-dollar deficit. To the point now they can't even afford to pay whatever bills they got to pay. Oh, To answer your question, STF, before she became mayor, she was one of them. And she won over the general population in that town because she was preaching accountability and transparency and making sure all the T's are crossed and the I's were dotted. She was one of them before she became mayor, and then she went on this massive power trip. So she basically sold the town on a bag of goods. Before she became mayor, she was one of them on the board of trustees. So when they voted Tiffany Henyard in as mayor, they thought they was getting somebody who was going to be on the up and up. They thought they was going to get somebody that was going to lead the town to a brighter future. But instead, they got a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what they got. Now there's a federal investigation. There's outrage by the town. This woman running a fraud of a charity for cancer called Tiffany Cares. And they're going to lie on Roland Martin's show talking about, oh, well, you know, yeah, they got this stuff going on in my name, but I don't know anything about it. How the hell you don't know of a nonprofit for cancer research that's in your name, but you don't know nothing about it? Make it make sense. Now, all the meanwhile, she's lying on Roland Martin's show. She's out there all up in the videos, dancing, doing the Dougie and whatever else. But she don't know where the money coming from, and she don't know how it's in her name. Man, if you don't get your ass out of here, this woman need to be under the jail. But you guys let me know what y'all think, man. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Hard.